Okay, so we're here at Tofino School Garden, and we're doing a little pruning session. And so the first thing we need is we need some tools. So I really like to get good quality pruners because it takes a lot of energy to make these things. And so if you get a good quality one like these Felcos, they have a spring. I mean, there's other brands that do this too, but these particular ones, watch for a replaceable spring and watch for a replaceable blade, because then you can have these for the rest of your life. And if you damage the blade, you can replace it. If the spring will get old, and then you can replace it. There's a couple of different types of pruners, and they're based on the way the blades actually go towards each other and pass each other. These are called bypass pruners, and so the blade goes by the other. The other type of pruner that's available is called an anvil pruner, and the anvil pruner, the blade comes down on this flat surface. So these ones are good for removing dead wood and things that you don't care if they live, but they do tend to crush the stem. They're very powerful, so they're good to remove scrub brush or things that you don't want to grow. But if you're doing some fine fruit tree pruning or something, or nice shrub pruning, these will really crush the stem. And if the stem is crushed, the cut isn't very clean. If the cut isn't very clean, then there's more surface area for bacteria and disease organisms to colonize. So you want to make a nice clean cut. And the bypass pruners will do that, whether they're long-handled or short-handled, as long as the blade goes by the other. Speaking of a clean cut, it's really important to keep your tools sharp and to sharpen them on the regular basis. Like on a regular day when I'm pruning, I might sharpen these 2 or 3 times just to touch them up, to keep them moving smoothly so that you're making smooth cuts, to make it easy on your hand so that your hand doesn't get worn out, and it's more ergonomically correct to work with sharp tools. So what you want to do is take something like this. This is a diamond hook sharpener, and it's got a diamond surface, it's got a flat surface, and these are pretty easy to find online or at any of your tool places. And you want to put the flat part of this on a 45-degree angle, move it a bunch of times in one direction until you will see an edge actually coming up on it. The metal will get shiny, and you'll see some of the burrs kind of smoothing out. And then after you've done that for a while, you just turn on the back side, and then put your sharpener flat and drag it a couple times over, really nice and flat, to take off any edge that you've created with your 45-degree angle. The other tool that's really important for bigger branches is a good saw. And a saw that's curved like this actually works better on tree trimming than a straight saw. The other thing is that I love the Japanese saws. They cut on a pull movement, and so especially if you're up in a tree, the gravity works with you to pull, and so that's really makes it easier. The steel is very good in the Japanese saws, and although other companies make good saws, there's a lot of Japanese companies that make saws too. It's not one particular brand, but it seems that the Japanese style of saw will tend to have a better metal content in it, and also just the fact that it's on a pull motion makes it, I find, much easier to use. And also nice to have these little holsters and scabbards, because then you don't lose your tools, especially if you're spending a lot of money on them, and you've got them right where you need them when you go to prune.